I never thought I'd be the guy writing something like this, but here I am. My name's Jake, and I've been with my wife Ashley for about 4 years now. We were supposed to get married in just a few weeks. Things seemed perfect, or at least they did on the surface. We had this plan, this future, and I honestly believed she was the one. She was smart, confident, and seemed to love me, or so I thought. Looking back, there were a few little signs here and there. She'd be a little more distant sometimes, brushing me off when I tried to talk about our future. She'd cancel plans last minute or seem distracted. I chalked it up to stress from work or just her being busy. I even caught her lying about small things, like where she was when she was out with friends. She tell me she was at that new coffee shop with her coworker Mark, but then I'd find out she was actually at some bar with her friends, or worse, with Mark himself. She'd lie with a little smirk, saying, "You're reading too much into everything, Jake. You know how guys like Mark are, just friends." I swear, I believed her. Well, part of me did. I wanted to believe her. She was so bitchy about protecting her privacy. She'd snap at me if I ever tried to go through her phone or her stuff. "It's none of your business," she'd say, rolling her eyes. That should have been a red flag, but I brushed it off, thinking maybe she just didn't want me to be suspicious. Then came the night I found something that shattered everything I thought I knew. I was supposed to be working late, but I'd forgotten my phone on the kitchen table. I saw a message pop up, something from Mark, I think. It was vague, but the tone was flirty. It said, "Can't wait to see you tonight. Hope you're ready for some fun." I froze, my stomach sank. It wasn't just a friendly message. It was intimate, like they were planning something behind my back. I felt my heart pounding in my chest. I kept staring at that message, trying to figure out if I was imagining things. Then I saw the timestamp, hours after she told me she was at work. I couldn't believe it. How could she lie so easily? How many times had she lied about where she was? I was furious, but mostly confused. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but deep down I knew this was just the tip of the iceberg. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying everything, feeling betrayed and stupid for trusting her. I started to question everything. Was she ever honest with me? Had I missed all the signs? Or was this just some one-time mistake? But I knew better. Ashley had been acting strange lately, more bitchy than usual, snapping at me over nothing, avoiding my eyes when I brought up us. It all clicked. She had been lying to me, hiding her secret life, and I was too blind to see it. The next day I decided I couldn't keep pretending everything was fine. I needed to confront her. I waited until she came home from her workday and asked her straight out. I showed her the message. Her face changed in an instant. That smug little smirk she always had when she was lying vanished. Instead, she looked at me like I was the crazy one. "Jake, you're overreacting. It's just a stupid message." "Mark." "Flirt, yeah, but it doesn't mean anything. You're making a big deal out of nothing," she said, brushing past me as if that was the end of it. I stood there, stunned. Her words didn't match the way she looked. She was defensive, hostile, like I was the one invading her privacy. I wanted to believe her, really, but the evidence was there, and her attitude told me she was hiding something bigger. I pressed her again, asking if she was sleeping with him, if they'd done more than just exchange flirty messages. Her eyes flashed and she snapped. "You're so paranoid, Jake. You're always accusing me of stuff I haven't done. Maybe I should just leave you if I can't have my privacy." That's when I knew something was going on. Whether she'd cheated already or was planning to, I didn't know. But I felt this cold, sharp pain that I couldn't shake. How could she lie so easily? How could she betray me like this right before our wedding? I felt this mixture of anger, hurt, and a deep confusion about who she really was. I'd spent years building a future with her, and now was sitting here questioning everything, wondering if I'd ever really known her at all. After that confrontation, everything spiraled. I couldn't focus at work, I couldn't eat, and I definitely couldn't sleep. The more I thought about what she said, the way she brushed me off, the way she got defensive, the more I realized how deep her lies went. She'd always been bitchy and manipulative, but I never thought she'd actually cheat on me right before we were supposed to get married. That's just next level betrayal, and honestly, it's messed me up. I started digging. I couldn't help myself. I found her phone again and I looked through her texts when she was asleep. I know trust is supposed to be a thing, but I was desperate. I found more messages from Mark, more flirty stuff, even plans for them to meet up secretly. One message said, Can't wait to see you tonight, babe. We're gonna have so much fun. And another one, don't forget your condoms. I want to make sure we're covered. That hit me like a punch in the gut. She wasn't just texting him, she was planning sex with him. How could she? How? Could she lie to my face, pretend everything was fine, and then go behind my back like this? I felt sick. My mind was racing all over the place. Did she ever love me? Was I just some placeholder until she found someone better? All those moments I thought we shared, all those plans for our future, were they just bullshit? I decided I had to see her again, face to face. I arranged to meet her that evening just to get some answers. I wanted her to look me in the eyes and tell me what the hell was really going on. She showed up at my apartment all bitchy and defensive, the same way she always was. I was boiling inside, but I kept my cool mostly. I asked her outright, "Are you sleeping with Mark? Are you cheating on me?" Her eyes flicked away, and for a second she just smirked like she was trying to act innocent. Then she said, "Jake, you're so paranoid. I swear you're seeing things. Mark's just a coworker. We're just friends. I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of it." But I wasn't buying it. Not anymore. I told her I knew about the messages, about the plans, about the sex. Her face twisted and she snapped, "You're nuts. You're insecure and I don't need this shit. Maybe if you weren't so controlling, I wouldn't have to hide things from you. You're always accusing me of stuff I didn't do." Her voice was high-pitched, full of anger, but I could see the fear behind her eyes. She was rattled. That's when I lost it. I felt this rush of rage, heartbreak, and betrayal all at once. I told her she could pack her shit and leave. I was done. I couldn't be with someone who lied so easily, who so blatantly cheated and then tried to gaslight me into thinking I was crazy. I told her if she wanted to be with Mark, go ahead. I didn't want to be part of her twisted game anymore. I felt like I was finally waking up from a nightmare I'd been living in. The aftermath hit hard. She stormed out, cursing me out, calling me insecure and obsessive. She told me I was overreacting, that I was making her feel suffocated. And when she left, I just stood there stunned, feeling this overwhelming mixture of relief and despair. I had lost her, but I also gained the clarity I needed. I realized that I'd been blind for so long, trying to hold on to a relationship that was already broken. I spent days just wandering around, thinking about what to do next. I knew I couldn't stay with her, not after what I found out, but it still hurt more than I expected. It's one thing to suspect someone is cheating. It's another to find out for sure and then have to face the truth. I won't pretend it was easy and I'm still hurting. But I also know I deserve better than someone who lies and cheats right before the biggest day of our lives. That's where I'm at now, trying to pick up the pieces and figure out how to move forward. The trust is gone. It's shattered into a million tiny pieces, and I honestly don't know if I'll ever be able to put it back together. But one thing, for sure, I won't be letting anyone else screw me over like that again. It's been a few weeks since she left, and honestly, it's been a roller coaster of emotions. Some days I wake up feeling furious, rage boiling inside me because I can't believe I was so blind for so long. Other days I sit around feeling empty, like I've lost a part of myself that I'll never get back. The worst part is that I keep replaying every moment, every sign, every little lie she told me, and wondering how I missed all of it. I started to realize how much I had ignored. The way she'd get defensive whenever I asked about her plans, her bitchy attitude whenever I brought up the future, how she'd always dodge my questions about Mark or her phone. It's like I was blindfolded the entire time, and now I see everything clearly, but it's too late to do anything about it. The damage is done. I also tried talking to some friends, but honestly, nobody really knows what to say. They tell me to move on, that I deserve someone better, but it doesn't help. It's not just about losing her. It's about losing the trust, the dreams, the sense of stability I thought I had. I keep asking myself, why did I let it get this far? The truth is, I wanted to believe she was different. I wanted to believe she loved me enough to stop lying. But deep down, I knew something was off. I just didn't want to admit it. One night, I decided to dig into her social media just to see if there was anything I missed. I found more messages, more flirtation, more plans. She was even talking about a weekend getaway with Mark, saying they needed some time alone to really connect. That's when it hit me. She had been planning to cheat on me for a while. It wasn't just a mistake, it was a choice. She decided to lie, to hide, to betray me, and all for what? Some quick sex. Some thrill with her coworker. I honestly felt sick even thinking about it. That's when I started to think about revenge. Not in a petty way, but I wanted her to see what it felt like, to really get a taste of what she did to me. I wanted her to know that I wasn't some fool who would just take her lies and betrayals forever. I wanted her to pay, even if just a little. I remembered her bitchy attitude, her sneers, her constant lies. She always thought she was so clever, so in control. Well, she was wrong. So I started planning. I knew I couldn't just confront her again and expect her to come clean. No, this needed to be calculated. I wanted to make her regret her choices. I wanted to make her feel as betrayed and humiliated as I did. I started gathering evidence, screenshots of her messages, her plans, her lies. I even set up a little hidden camera when I knew she'd be home alone one night. I wanted to catch her in the act if she was foolish enough to try to lie her way out again. I wasn't just angry. I was determined to make her see that she couldn't get away with this. The night I played my hand was intense. I texted her, pretending I wanted to meet up, to talk things out. She was so eager, so quick to respond with her usual bitchy attitude, trying to act like she was innocent. When she arrived at my place, I had everything ready. I pressed record on my phone and started asking her about Mark, about her plans, about the messages I'd found. At first, she played it cool, acting innocent, claiming she didn't know what I was talking about, that I was making things up. But I showed her the proof, screenshots, timestamps, her own words. Her face changed, her smirk faded into panic. She stammered, tried to deny everything, then finally snapped, "Fine, yes, I cheated. I did sex with him, but it was just sex, Jake. It doesn't mean I don't love you. I was just lonely and he's just a coworker. It's not a big deal." That moment, hearing her try to justify her betrayal, it was like a slap in the face. I'd been naive for so long, believing she loved me, that she cared. But now I saw her for who she really was, bitchy, manipulative, and willing to cheat just days before our wedding. I felt a mix of disgust and relief. She finally admitted what I'd suspected all along. I told her to get out, that I never wanted to see her again. She screamed, called me insecure, said I was overreacting, but I just shut her down. I knew I'd never trust her again, and honestly, I didn't want to. That night, I felt like I'd finally taken control, even though it hurt like hell. I'd exposed her, and that was enough to make her realize she couldn't just lie and manipulate her way out of this. After she left that night, I felt like I was in a fog. Part of me was relieved. Finally, I had proof, I had the truth, and part of me was devastated. I kept replaying everything she said, every lie, every sneer, every excuse she threw at me. The betrayal cut deep. For years, I had trusted her, believed in us, and she had been sneaking around behind my back. I couldn't understand how someone I loved could be so selfish, so callous. The days that followed were the hardest. I didn't want to get out of bed most mornings. My mind kept circling back to what I'd lost, my future, my trust, my sense of stability. I started to question everything about her, about us. How much of my life was built on lies? Had I ever really known her? Or was I just fooling myself because I wanted to believe she was the one? The more I thought about it, the angrier I became. How could she lie right before our wedding? How could she decide to cheat on me, then try to pretend it was nothing? I also realized I wasn't the only one who had been betrayed. She lied to her friends, her family, even her coworkers. She'd been pretending to be this perfect, confident woman, but behind closed doors, she was a different person. And I was stupid enough to ignore all the signs. I felt stupid, humiliated, and furious all at once. One night I decided I needed closure, even if it meant confronting her again. I reached out, telling her I wanted to talk, just to get some final answers. She responded almost immediately, trying to guilt-trip me, saying I was crazy and paranoid, that I was ruining her life. She texted, "You're just jealous because I don't want to be with someone who's so insecure." That made me laugh bitterly. Jealous? No, I was hurt because I trusted her, and she threw it all away for some stupid fling. When she came over, she had this haughty attitude, like she was the one in control. She sat on my couch, flipping her hair, acting like I was the problem. I looked at her and said, "You lied to me. You cheated on me and you're trying to act like it's no big deal." Her eyes flashed with annoyance. "Jake, you're overreacting. I made a mistake. It's not like I don't love you. I was just bored, that's all." That's when I snapped. I told her she was selfish, that she never loved me, and that I was done pretending I didn't see who she really was. She started crying, but it wasn't genuine. It was just her playing the victim. She told me I was being unreasonable, that I was controlling and paranoid, and that I was pushing her away. Honestly, I didn't care anymore. I told her to pack her shit and leave for good. I didn't want her near me, didn't want her messing with my head anymore. I felt this surge of rage and sadness, and I finally understood that I had to cut her out completely. As she stormed out, she kept yelling that I was making a mistake, that she loved me, and that she'd change. But I knew better. I knew she'd lied so many times, manipulated me, and cheated on me. I couldn't just forget that. I wanted to believe she'd regret it someday, but honestly, I didn't care anymore. I saw her true colors, and I realized I needed to save myself from her bullshit. Now I'm just trying to pick up the pieces. I've started therapy, trying to make sense of everything. I don't think I'll ever fully get over this, but I want to move forward. I want to rebuild my trust in myself, in others, and maybe someday in someone new. I don't know if I'll ever trust a woman again after this, but I do know this. I'll never be blind again. I'll never let someone betray me like that without fighting back. It's a hard lesson, but at least now I see things clearly. It's been a few more weeks since she left, and honestly, I'm still trying to pick up the pieces. Some days are better than others, but the pain of betrayal still lingers. I keep thinking about everything that happened, the lies, the secrets, her smug attitude right up until she was caught. I feel like I've been punched in the gut so many times I can't count. Trust. I thought I had it. Turns out it was just an illusion. I've been reflecting a lot about what I could have done differently, but deep down I know I wasn't to blame. I was naive maybe, but I loved her. I wanted to believe she was honest, that she cared. Now I see she was just pretending. She wanted her cake and to eat it too, dadding me, pretending to be the perfect wife, all while sneaking around with Mark. That's real love. That's real respect. No, it was all just a facade, and I was too blind to see it. I've also come to realize how much I depended on her, how I let her manipulate me into thinking I was overreacting when I found the first signs. She was good at twisting things around, making me doubt myself. That bitchy attitude, her snide comments, she always made me feel like I was the problem, like I was insecure for questioning her. But now I see her for what she really was: selfish, dishonest, and more interested in her own pleasure than my trust or feelings. I decided to clean out her stuff from my apartment. It hurt to see her things, her clothes, her perfume, her stupid little trinkets. It was like tearing off a Band-Aid. I threw most of it away but kept a few things as reminders of the lesson I'd learned. I don't want to forget her, but I do want to move on. I'm tired of feeling like I've been played. I want to focus on myself now, rebuild my confidence, and figure out what I want from life without her shadow hanging over me. I've started seeing a therapist, which helps a lot. Talking to someone who doesn't judge and just listens has been a relief. I told him everything: the betrayal, the anger, the sadness, and I'm finally starting to process it. It's not easy. Some nights I still wake up angry, thinking about how she lied and what she did. But I know I can't keep living in that past. I have to accept it, learn from it, and move forward. My friends have been supportive, but honestly, most of them just tell me to forget her and find someone better. I know they're right, but it's not that simple. Trust doesn't just heal overnight. It takes time, patience, and a lot of work. But I'm determined to come out of this stronger. The biggest lesson I've learned: don't ignore the signs. Don't let someone manipulate your trust or make you doubt yourself. If I'd listened to my gut earlier, maybe I could have avoided all this pain. But sometimes you have to go through the storm to see clearly. I'm not saying I'll ever fully forget what happened, but I am saying I'll be smarter about who I let into my life from now on. Right now, I'm just focusing on rebuilding myself. I want to be better, stronger, more resilient. I don't want to be bitter, but I also won't forget how badly I was betrayed. It's a tough lesson, but I guess I needed it. Maybe someday I'll find someone who's honest, who respects me, and who truly loves me, not just pretends to. Until then, I'll keep moving forward, one step at a time. Looking back, I realize how much this whole experience has changed me. It's like I've been forced to grow up overnight. There's a part of me that's still angry at her, angry at myself for trusting her so blindly. But mostly I'm just tired. Tired of the lies, the pain, the confusion. I thought I knew her, thought she was the one. Turns out she was just good at pretending, good at hiding her true self until it all came crashing down. I've learned that trust isn't something you should take for granted. It's fragile, and once broken, it's nearly impossible to repair. I also learned that I have to listen to my instincts, those little red flags I kept brushing off. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore it. Don't let anyone manipulate your feelings or make you doubt yourself like I did. Now, I focus on rebuilding my confidence and my life. I've started dating again, but very cautiously. I'm not rushing into anything because I know now that not everyone is honest or deserves my trust. I want to find someone who's genuine, who respects me, and who understands that honesty is the foundation of everything. That's what I deserve. This whole ordeal has also made me more aware of how I want to be treated. I refuse to be with someone who sneaks around, who lies and manipulates. I've realized that I deserve respect and loyalty, and I won't settle for less anymore. It's a hard lesson, but it's a necessary one. I'd rather be alone than with someone who doesn't value me. Most importantly, I've learned to forgive myself. I wasn't perfect, and I made mistakes trusting her, ignoring the signs, falling for her manipulations. But I also learned that it's okay to be vulnerable, to get hurt, and to pick yourself back up. I've come to accept that not all relationships are meant to last, and that sometimes walking away is the best choice you can make for yourself. In the end, I feel a strange sense of peace. I'm still healing, still moving forward, but I'm no longer in the dark. I see things clearly now. I see who she really was, and I see who I need to be: stronger, smarter, and more cautious. I won't let this define me, but I won't forget it either. It's a tough pill to swallow, but I know it's made me better. And if there's one thing I want anyone reading this to take away, it's this: trust is earned, not given. Honesty is everything. Don't ignore the signs, and don't let anyone make you doubt your worth. Because in the end, you're the only one who can truly look out for yourself. Stand tall, be cautious, and remember, you deserve someone who loves you for who you are, not who they want you to be.